Hi everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Can you believe it? It's January 21st. Wow. Yeah, already. Talking about time, where does time fly? Welcome back to our live Q&A series for team management and leadership skills development. And before we dive right into today's question and answer, I wanted to say at any point that you want to make a comment or want to ask a question, absolutely please feel free to contribute, because that's what this is for. I've started this live Q&A series because I've seen a lot of you that started to have a lot of questions specifically around team motivation, team engagement. What can we do as team managers, team leaders, no matter if you are the team leader in a larger organization or you're leading your small team as a small business owner? So ask your questions. By the way, you also have a link in the description. So what I want to say is click the link in the description. You can ask your question. You can book a call with me. It's complimentary. So we can discuss solutions that are a good fit for you, so you don't waste time and money and energy trying to Google things out and research. I might have some ideas and solutions that might be a good fit for you. So check the link in the description, and you're also going to get all of the replays in case you're missing any of the live Q&As. If you click the link in the description, you are gonna get all of the replays. So ask your questions, get your answers, and you can also book a call. All right, so looking forward to your comments today, because what we are going to talk about is assessments that help you and your team work better. And I'm getting this question a lot, especially these days when we work virtually, right? So the team actually needs a lot more motivation and engagement so that they can still be productive, so that they can still feel that they're part of a team and that they work together and that they get business results, right? So what can we do? Because we're far apart most of the time, and still we want to get that feeling of, hey, we're still working together and we're still part of a cohesive team. So what we can do actually is use some of these assessments so that we help people understand how they work, what works best for them, and why, right? So this is what assessments, personality assessments, and we're going to look at some assessment tools that I like using and that I can also recommend for you. So before we start diving into what assessments we can use, what I typically recommend when I talk to people about that is, first of all, understand and decide what you want to measure and why. First of all, you need the why. Why do we want to measure things? And what is that going to help us with from a people perspective and from a business perspective as well? Again, I can't stress this enough. People decisions are going to be business decisions, and people challenges are business challenges. So first of all, decide what do you want to measure and why, right? That's going to be important. And we've been measuring things like personality a lot, right? There are a lot of personality assessment tests out there, and some of them you might be familiar with, some of them maybe not. We're also measuring experience and expertise when it comes to making people decisions. And I'm going to show you that now we also have the possibility of measuring impact. So the individual and team impact in an organization from a business perspective. So that is why it's important for you to ask yourself this question: what do I want to measure, and what's that going to help me with? Why do I want to measure that? Why do I want to use it? And here's why: because we have some assessments and they all measure different things, right? I mean, and these are some of the assessments that I like. And I also like using them whenever I work with both individuals and teams. But what I've put here together for you, I also wanted to show you the kind of impact and measurement that all of these assessments do. So if you look at an assessment tool like Motivation Finder, what you will find with it is that, yeah, it measures personal motivators. And it's best used when it is individual, right? So for instance, for me, I know that I am very motivated by growth. For me, growth is going to be an important tool. So I have my two main motivators, for instance, are freedom and growth. So, and with growth comes this ideal of constant learning. And probably this is why I do what I do, because I'm very much motivated by growth. And I know that growth comes with the development and learning bit. Okay. We have a comment from LinkedIn that says, I have recently started as an onboarding team leader, and next week I'm doing the team's annual review and have to set development objectives. And I'm afraid that I won't be able to set any, as I'm just getting the grips of my role and their roles, and would love some support. Okay, so that is, and thank you for commenting on that, because that's another thing that I find, especially with leaders that are new and that inherit the team, right? And setting development objectives, that is an interesting one. Why don't you, what I would love to do is, because I'm not sure we have time to cover everything that you need here. So you can DM me and let's just chat individually, and then I can take you through the process. But basically, setting development objectives that will have to be aligned with, you look at the performance. So you have to look at the feedback that they've had so far. You have to look at what are the business goals and the business objectives. And you look at the performance that each individual on the team had, what they contributed to the business, and then you look at the gap, right? You look at what they've been doing well, and you look at what they need to develop further. And that's where you need to have that constructive feedback and constructive conversation with them and say, hey, so with what you've done here, we've moved that far. The objectives, our goals as a team, as an organization, as a business, I don't know enough about your team and organization. That's why, if you want, just book a call with me and I'm happy to take you through some processes there. And then let them know, this is the goal that we have as a team. This is what I've seen you doing well, and this is what helps us move towards that goal. What's going to also help you move towards that goal is if you learn more about this, and that. And those are going to be the development objectives, have to be related to the result and to the goal, to the personal goal and to the team and organization goal. Because otherwise, that's not going to be That's not going to be realistic. And this is where I see a lot of these performance review discussions being so, at some point, being so irrelevant because they're not related to business goals. And when I ask people to go on a training session or develop that skill or another, if they know they're not going to be measured and their business success is not going to be measured based on that as well, they're going to know it's going to be useless for them to develop that skill. So that's why. Okay, awesome. Book a call. I'm happy to chat with you. All right. Okay, so let's move on. And by the way, we can discuss what assessments you might want to use for your team so you get more out of them and also motivate them even more. The predictive index is an assessment that measures behavior. So, and that's best used with individuals and teams. And I can tell you, so for instance, in my case, in my profile, I have the maverick. So these are people who go out and, you know, they are looking at new ways of doing things, new possibilities, and they come up with maybe even wild ideas, I would say. And sometimes people call them crazy. I know sometimes people call me crazy. It's like, they're like, where did you get that idea? So yeah, that measures, but that will measure the behavior also on a team. So you look at actions that people will naturally take on a team or in their own life, because that's not different. So we're going to have the same kind of behavior in our personal and professional life. We're not two different people here, right? So that's best when it's also measured for your team, because that gives you an idea of how people are behaving and also why they're behaving like that. But what I can say is that for individuals, definitely that's fantastic, because it explains a lot to them about the reasons why they behave one way or another. And especially for those people who think maybe I should be more of this or more of that and less of how I am, that is going to be a particularly good assessment to motivate them. The MBTI, you might have heard it already, Myers-Briggs. This is the Myers-Briggs assessment, and it measures personality types. So it looks at their 16 personality types and combinations. And I find that the best use with that is individual. So you can have it done for all of the members of your team. And that can be a very interesting discussion on the team as well. But where I find this one most insightful is where you get to understand what your personality type is and what that helps with in both your personal and professional life, is to understand why you will be also behaving one way or another, and how you can use your personality type to benefit from it rather than use it as an excuse. And why I'm saying that is, for instance, it measures the level of introversion and extroversion as well, right? And I've talked to a lot of introverts, and okay, knowing that you're an introvert, that is all right. And I wish we'd learn about personality types in school, because I was super introvert, and actually I was very shy as a kid. And there's a difference between being shy and being an introvert, right? Being shy is when, oh God, I had such a hard time even saying stuff and opening my mouth and talking to people, because I was afraid of being judged. That's what shy people have to deal with. I feared external judgment. So that's why, I didn't want to talk to people because I was afraid they would be judging me. That's one thing. Being introvert doesn't necessarily mean that I fear judgment, that I fear that other people are going to judge me. Being an introvert means that when I talk a lot and when I network a lot, that's going to get me tired more than an extroverted person. Extroverts feed from their connections and discussions with other people. Introverts feed from spending time alone and thinking and feeling a lot of the stuff that's going on in their internal world rather than external world. And I've seen a lot of introverted people using that excuse. I'm an introvert. I don't go out much. I don't network much. I don't like public speaking. I don't like public speaking because I'm an introvert. But let me tell you, there are so many extroverts out there who don't like public speaking either, and so many introverts who are amazing public speakers. And yes, okay, thank you for commenting. I'm an introvert and I worked in sales in the past. Look, when introverts, here's the catch, when introverts talk about something that they're passionate about, there's no one and nothing that can stop them from talking. And I'm telling you from my experience, I mean, I went and I spoke, I had a TEDx talk. And guess what? I always wanted to speak at TEDx. I always wanted to have a TEDx talk. And I put myself out there. You have to, and if you're not familiar with the process of giving a TEDx talk, it's this. You have to actually apply, and you have to let them know, you have to pitch so that they understand whether or not you're a good fit for that particular topic, for that particular event, and so on. So you have to really want to do it. And I'm an introvert, and I really wanted to do it because introverts have, when they have a message that they want to put out there in the world, they will do that. They will put it. And if they're passionate about that, there's nothing that can stop them. So that's what I find that these assessments are useful for and with. They help you understand how you work at your best and use that to your benefit. What I don't like whenever people get really, really focused on using these assessments, I don't like to use them as labels and ways of labeling people. And don't label yourself either, because if the minute we start labeling ourselves, that's when we also start labeling others. And that's not productive. That's not what we want to use these assessments for. We want to use them to enhance, to work with the strength, to understand ourselves better and to understand others better as well. And to understand that what's important to me is not going to necessarily be important to you, and that is fine. But the minute we start working together, that's when we're actually going to get a bigger, better picture of what we're looking at and more perspectives of the risks, the benefits of working on one project or another, and how we should be approaching that. So don't use them for labels, use them for engagement, productivity, motivation, for working better together, for improving the relationship with yourself and with others. And then there's the Game-Changing Index. The last one that I'm going to talk about, and which I love, is because it measures impact. And we haven't been able to measure impact before. So it measures the level of energy and the kind of impact that individuals will have on a team. And also what it measures, it all levels in the organization. It also measures the kind of impact that a team might have on the organization as a whole. So that is what I find is that for me, the Game Changing Index helps people put a framework and align them to that framework and understand where they are coming from. And this is what I want to say, because we started from, okay, decide what you want to measure and why. And we talked about how we are measuring personality and experience and expertise, and we haven't been able to measure impact. So now we are. And look at these questions. And this is what I mean when we talk about measuring the level of impact. These are some of the questions that the Game Changing Index assessment answers. Can this person drive change? Can this person deliver? Can this person bring the team together? Can this person plan for success? Or is this person innovative? Or can this person drive improvement? And these are absolutely great questions to answer and be able to answer with an assessment tool, because that will help you also make informed business decisions, because you're able to get that kind of data, right? The kind of data that we didn't have available before. And these are some of the answers that this tool is going to help you find, some of the questions that this tool helps you find answers to. What are the team's strengths? What needs to be in place for the team to work most effectively? What will be valued? What do we value on this team? And this relates a lot to your culture as an organization, as a team, to your values and to your way, basically, of doing things, how we do what we do. That's the culture. The culture is in the how, not in the what, because there are so many organizations out there doing the same thing, right? They work in the same industry. The difference is in how they do it, in how they work. And this is where culture comes in. So what you want is to help leaders and teams understand what they value, what might be some risks that they're exposing themselves to when it comes to what are we paying least attention to, what tensions might be happening between team members, and let's understand why those tensions happen and how we can rather work with those than just all of us feeling frustrated and really, thinking I can't work with this person because it's like they're driving me nuts. So that is what you want to understand when you work in a team and you want to manage them and lead them towards a clear business goal. This is what this tool is going to help you with, because it helps you make more informed business decisions. Okay, so what can we maximize on the team? What roles, what contributions can we maximize on the team? And then you will have people who are better with coming up with new ideas, or people who are better with prioritizing and with building strategies. That is because that's their impact. That's where they naturally will put their energy into. You will have people, on the other hand, who are very good implementers, and you do need implementers, especially if you're working towards tight deadlines. You also need people who are what we call polishers with the GC index, who are paying a lot of attention to detail, and they're going to take an existing product and develop it into something even better. They see development possibilities. Also, playmakers who are there to make sure that you have a cohesive team and everybody on the team has a voice and is heard and is understood and feels motivated, and they want to get that collaborative approach. So I can talk about this the whole day, and I'm not going to do that. So if you, um, again, if you want to talk about how you can motivate and engage your team, and especially now you're helping them strategize and plan, and you're moving towards business goals, check the link or DM me, and I'm here to help you come up with some solutions that are a good fit for you. So that is it for today. And what I wanted to say also is we do a lot of work on that in the Lead for Legacy League. And this is my online global management and leadership development program. And it combines training with group coaching. So, and we've discussed a lot, and all of the league members, they take the GC index assessment, and we work on that profile, and we also discuss a lot of strategies and techniques that they can use, especially for when they work with their team. And we meet every Monday live at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So again, if you are there, if you want to develop your people and management skills, you might give it a try. So talk to me, ask me about it, and I'm happy to give you more information about the Lead for Legacy League. That said, thank you so much for commenting and being here with me today. And I'm looking forward to that conversation. Book that call with me, and I'm super excited to chat to you. Thank you so much. Ask your questions. Remember, you have the link below in the description. If you decide you only have a question to ask, and you just want to do that, use the link and ask your question, and you will see the answer in the next live session, which is, by the way, that's going to be on Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. These live sessions are on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. So you know how it is. Sharing is caring. So share your questions. I'll share my answers. All right. Take care. Have a great rest of your day and week, and see you soon.